Welcome back. We're in a push session today, bringing it back to old school style of video, just keeping it raw. I'm gonna go through every exercise and just give as much value as possible on each. Execution tips, how to adjust each exercise to make it as optimal as possible to provide as best stimulus as possible. Stuff that you can action in your own training. So hopefully this helps. Enjoy the session and I'm gonna crack on. First exercise, we've got dumbbell lateral raise, a little bit more of a delt dominant push today. We've got shoulder press after this. A few things on this, rather than performing a normal standing dumbbell lateral raise, where it's easier to start seeing a little bit of a knee bend, seeing a little bit of a body sway, let's use a bench, either stand by it or kneel on it. Use that as a chest support. Set your feet slightly back, set your body weight into that pad so that you can stay completely stable and go through that movement without any chance of cheating. I can't physically sort of lean myself back too much there. Another thing, if Eddie comes to the side here, I don't want to be driving straight out to the side in line with my body. What I'm going to do is actually bring that hand in the dumbbell just slightly forward in front. If we think about how the shoulder blade naturally sort of glides around the rib cage in that direction, we're almost just driving that upper arm in that same plane. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable in the shoulder joint itself and align those fibers on top of the movement, making sure that the lateral delt is the main guy doing the work there. So use the chest support and bring yourself slightly in front of your body as you go.
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you
nice,
with
mate,
the
come
on. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep.
There we go again.
Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the
yeah, that's yours.
You gon'
stay with that, keep pushing through, come on.
Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you.
Bit of geometrica. Me and this lad went onto this machine at the same time. So rather than either of us saying, oh, I'm using this, we're both just jumping in together, which is nice. So in terms of a gym environment, never be scared, just communicate with people, say, can I jump in with you? Just because you're using the machine doesn't mean it's yours. Let everyone else jump in as well. So just be a nice guy.
Be breaking free like I was eyeing in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law.
So you'll see here with this machine, I'm using the neutral grip rather than the wider grip there. So taking more of this stance with the elbow tucked forward in front of me. That means that as I drive through, the path of motion of my upper arm runs more in alignment with the front delt and the upper chest fibers that I'm trying to train here. So rather than coming right out into what we call horizontal abduction into this plane, we're here, elbows in front. We're traveling more so from here and then driving that upper arm back and up into those front delt fibers. So if you're doing this machine, you've got the two different variants. Try that one if you haven't already, see how that feels, and you might find that you connect better with the front delt. Tips on this before I start. First of all, if you're lucky enough to have this specific machine, the back pad moves in position. It can come forward, it can come back, and that's then essentially just going to change start position of the handle relatively and how deep you're starting. Most machines don't have that, so the way that you would have to adjust the start position is by looking at somewhere where you can pin or stick a block or a handle or something to just raise that start position. What we're looking at there is just starting in a place that you're comfortable getting back to rather than where the machine might force you into, which may be stretching you way past where it's comfortable for the joint itself and all of the surrounding tissues. So if we just sit, pull our elbows back in that same path, I can get mine to about back here. So as I then set this movement up, if I come back here, you'll then see those handles start exactly where it's comfortable for me, all right? If I was to have this bench all the way forward, I can get to here, the machine then has to force me back even further. And even then, before I even start to push, that really doesn't feel comfortable. So always aim to adjust the machine around you rather than you around the machine. So exciting because we've got the first group photo shoot this year in just over 2 weeks time now. So obviously being 2 weeks out, all the clients that we've got for it are in near condition. Everyone's looking sick. We've got the next intake coming out 1st of April for something a little bit new, and then the 22nd of April, the intake for the next group photo shoot is opening up. That will be open for 4 weeks before the coaching for it actually starts. If you're a coach out there and you're looking to not only educate yourself through the education series that we're doing, but also gain practical learning experience by being coached directly by us and going through a photo shoot prep so that you can see firsthand how we apply this knowledge and actually just walk the walk yourself and show your clients that you're applying all the information that you're wanting to pass on to them. Challenge yourself a little bit. It's just brilliant in terms of the photo shoot just to have that marker of that transformation that you've made. So if that's something that it sounds sort of interesting to you and you want to learn more about, find me a message on Instagram, Ryan_teamprocoach, and I'll send you more information. Ooh, a couple of tips on here. First thing first, you saw at the end, just continuing through slightly more partial reps until we fatigued all of the range. Again, we're gonna fatigue within that middle position first. If you've got more within those outer ranges, take them. I always preference, if I've got the choice between a normal sort of handled fly versus a fly with an elbow pad like this, I always much prefer an elbow pad, just in terms of taking the hand, the wrist and the elbow out of the equation and creating a little bit more of a direct challenge to the chest, much like we would as a cuffed fly on a cable itself. And then lastly, and this is a point I don't really see many people speak about, just spinal position and rib cage position as we're coming through, and allowing the freedom of the shoulder to actually draw back into retraction in this position, to be almost stretching the pec a little bit and allowing most of the pec fibers to run in the direction that upper arm is wanting to push within that back position, which is this way. But then as we start to come round, I'm actually going to allow my chest to flatten off a little bit, my shoulder to come forward and protract slightly, and finish with a little bit of a flatter chest here. If we think about that as a rationale, at this point, the weight is trying to drive my upper arm straight out. As I allow those shoulders to come forward, which is what they naturally need to do, those fibers are also running in that direction. So with that being said, we're then aligning everything and able to shorten the pec fully by protracting slightly. Don't overdo it, and don't round and elevate. It's more if I show it in practice, I'll do it with one arm. I'm coming back, elevating my chest, allowing the shoulder to come back, and then coming forward, allowing that slight stretch forward, and then drawing right across the chest. So a little bit of a difference there. Try that next time you're doing pec flyers and see if you feel that difference in that short position. So I need to click my back. Tip on this exercise, I've spoken about these many times, but straps, I think they're climbing straps. This is the brand. They're from Amazon. I got fairly long ones, probably don't need them this long because I just double them up, but these just act as a way to extend the cable itself. And as I go through this movement, you can then see that the straps themselves are the things that rub against each other. So that creates a nice smooth movement. If I didn't have those in place, if I take this off now, you see that if I just place the cuff on, everything here in terms of the carabiner, the little ball attachment there, as I go through, they're all gonna clip together. And it creates a really clunky, annoying movement. So it creates a real sort of hassle for a movement that can be really good, just with that simple adjustment. So for 10, 15 quid or whatever it is from Amazon, go and get yourself some climbing straps. Use them in exercises like this, where the cables are crossing over, where the things usually clip together, and that'll make it a much smoother exercise and much more enjoyable. I love that little sort of tricep with triceps. Starting off here, I'm not going to do it again because I failed, but starting off here, elbows back at the side, coming fully through, almost fully shortening the tricep with it back in that extended position. When you fail there, hinge over, bring the elbows forward in front of you. The perform an extension here. And once you fail in that position, you're then going to actually move into a bit more of a press. So starting with the hands next to the shoulders and actually pressing the weight down, obviously bringing in a little bit more chest and shoulder and just allowing you to extend the set. Get that little bit more out of your triceps. So start here, over into here, and then into a press. It's almost like a mechanical drop set, I call it. Just absolutely fry your triceps from every single angle and every single length. Jeez, Russ. I might start growing, it's nearly time. This recomp got extended a little bit because I basically spent 3 weeks stagnant in terms of progress. Just got a cold. I don't know about you guys, but there seems to be this cold going about that just lasts forever. So I ended up just sort of maintaining body weight, maintaining where I'm currently at with composition whilst I was just recovering from that. I'm not able to train at full intensity, so we've extended that a little bit, obviously pushed the time frame back. We are, as of the time of recording, to be fair, when this video is released, it'll be Sunday the 1st of April or the 31st of March, 2nd of April, whatever that Sunday is. That week marks the last week of this recomp. We're then gonna push food back up to maintenance, establish that new maintenance set point for about 2 weeks. I've then got a quick trip to Barcelona just for like 4 or 5 days, a little city break, refresh, deload after that into a gaining phase. So I've just really got the itch just to move into a really nice long gaining phase now, pushing food, pushing training, getting bigger. Harsh reality is I need to put on a lot of size. I want to put on a lot of size. Yeah, it's nearly time. I'm gonna do some press ups, get a pump in my chest again. 105, 106. God, knacking me out, shit. That is session done. Good session in the books. As always, hopefully with this style of video you pick up a good few tips that you can just try within your training sessions across the next week. Moving forward, as always, I just want to improve something moving into your guys next week, whether that be a training tip, whether that be something you can do with your nutrition, lifestyle, anything. If I can improve your guys' journey, almost give you a little bit of coaching for free. That's what the goal is with this channel. So if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, or if you just happen to be watching and haven't subscribed, which a lot of you do, make sure, just quickly go down, hit the subscribe button, click like, helps the algorithm. And we're trying to grow the channel at the moment and get more than a couple of hundred views per video, ideally. So that'd be awesome. A little bit of a posing update at the end as well. As I said, a couple more weeks left of this recomp, really sort of a week and a half now. And then it's finally time to get growing. So I'll be documenting that whole process as well. Any questions, fire them in the comments below. But if not, as always, do that YouTuber stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't want to talk. How you trying?
Some people put their mic on their hat. I clip mine on my hair. Name me someone that's done this before. Revolutionary, this.
Press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park.